Y'all won't believe the scandal that's shaking up Washington right now, because when it comes to power, secrets, and scandals, the truth is always darker than it seems. Today, we're diving into one of the most controversial nominations in history, featuring accusations so chilling, they'll leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about who runs the show in this country. So here's the T-Fam. For not one but 2 days in a row, Senator J.D. Vance, the man who's all about selling the perfect candidate narrative, has been parading around some of the most eyebrow-raising nominations in recent history. We're talking about people who are not only unqualified, but are also dragging allegations so heavy, it's honestly hard to imagine how anyone thought this was a good idea. Yesterday, it was Matt Gaetz. Yep, that Matt Gaetz, who was being pitched as a potential attorney general. And let's just say, the response was as frosty as an iced coffee in December. But today, today is where things get even messier. Enter Pete Hegseth, a Fox News host and Trump's pick for Secretary of Defense. Yes, you heard that right. A man who spent more time stirring the pot on morning talk shows than running anything remotely close to the Pentagon. But wait, it gets worse. The scandal starts to unravel when reporters ask about his past. Hegseth, trying to keep it casual, says the allegations against him have been fully investigated and that he was completely cleared. Sounds neat, right? Except it's a total lie. And the receipts? Oh, they're piling up faster than a Starbucks line on a Monday morning. Back in 2017, a memo surfaced involving a woman referred to as Jane Doe, who accused Hegseth of sexual assault at a Republican conference in California. This wasn't just gossip, y'all. This was a full-on emergency room case. Jane Doe's story, heartbreaking and disturbing. She claimed she was socializing with other women at the event when Hegseth's behavior started sending major creep vibes. We're talking inappropriate touching, comments, the whole 9 yards. Things escalated when she left the bar, thinking she was alone, only to find herself arguing with him by the pool. Her next memory? Waking up in an unfamiliar room with Hegseth there, blocking the door as she tried to leave. She said no repeatedly, but what happened next is just too horrifying for words. Oh, and let's not forget the dog tags that allegedly hovered over her face during the assault, a detail that's as symbolic as it is sickening. Now, here's where it gets murkier. Hegseth admitted to having a relationship with the woman, but insisted it was consensual. But why then did he pay her a hefty sum as part of a non-disclosure agreement? His excuse? He didn't want the news getting out because it would cost him his job at Fox. Bruh, make it make sense. What's worse is that despite this, Hegseth's name was pushed forward for one of the most critical roles in government, running the Pentagon, a position that oversees nearly 3 million employees and a $900+ billion budget. Like, how does someone go from managing morning talk segments to being in charge of national defense? The math isn't mathing. Even if we put the allegations aside, big IF, Hegseth is laughably unqualified. This guy hasn't run anything larger than a small veteran group, which, spoiler alert, was funded by some pretty shady political donors. And let's talk about his military background. While he loves to flaunt his veteran status, those who've worked with him have described him as a liability. One insider even said he has zero leadership capability and doesn't care about the rules. Yikes. Oh, and remember that tattoo he's sporting? Military officials flagged it as resembling symbols often associated with extremist groups. Hegseth claims it's just a Christian tattoo, but let's just say the optics aren't great. Let's bring in Senator Tammy Duckworth, a literal war hero and Purple Heart recipient, to weigh in. When asked about Hegseth's nomination, she didn't mince words. Duckworth straight up said she wouldn't trust Hegseth to run a McDonald's, let alone the Pentagon. Ouch. She went on to point out how his appointment would be a slap in the face to military personnel, especially women, given his outdated views on their role in combat. Duckworth herself served in combat, so you already know she wasn't about to let this slide. What's truly terrifying is how this reflects on the larger system. How did someone with this much baggage even make it this far? The Trump team, according to reports, was blindsided by the allegations and the police report. It's almost as if they didn't even bother to vet him properly. Shocking but not surprising, right? Meanwhile, the Department of Defense is supposed to be cracking down on issues like sexual assault within the military, yet here we are, discussing a nominee with allegations that directly contradict those efforts. Talk about a double standard. As of now, Hegseth's nomination is hanging by a thread. Key senators, including those within his own party, have expressed serious doubts. Names like Susan Collins and Mitch McConnell have reportedly signaled that they're not here for this nonsense. But the real question is, how many more unqualified individuals are being pushed into positions of power, hiding behind NDAs and connections? This isn't just about Hegseth. It's about the entire system that enables people like him to rise to the top. So there you have it, folks. Pete Hegseth's nomination isn't just a scandal. It's a symptom of a much bigger problem. The question now is whether the Senate will do what's right or let someone with such a controversial past take control of one of the most powerful institutions in the world. Stay tuned, because this story is far from over, and you already know there's more tea brewing behind the scenes. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Hegseth's nomination should be rejected, or is there more to this story than meets the eye? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because trust me, we're just getting started.